There's a lot happening in the U.S. now, and we've been involved, and many other people have been involved in addressing some of these issues, and also in changing the relationship of the U.S. to the rest of the world. And obviously, Obama's being elected president was an important step, but also very controversial here, and particularly in the last several months. And I was wondering what the Obama presidency, what's happening here, means to, well, to you, and what you could tell us about what that looks like from where you're coming from, if you wish.
I want to start. When Obama elected as president, I was here in U.S., but I see the response from the Middle East. I have an interesting background. My mom is Turkish, my dad is from Darfur, and I'm Muslim. I'm from West Sudan, but I grew up in some of it in West Sudan, and I moved to North Sudan. It's a kind of multicultural. Especially the Obama, not the election alone, it has an impact in all of the Middle East. And that is, we have like now normalization of the relationship with America. Actually, especially for us, for Muslim. For Muslim in the Arabic world, we used to have they are anti-American in the sense that they occupied Iraq and they are dominating the world. Now the world has one big power, great power in the world, and because of the different ideology, and this is and between the Islam and Christianity and stuff like that. Especially the impact, the biggest impact that Obama have in his speech in Egypt about the normalization, the relationship, and the new face of America. That has a big impact especially in my country now. People are less, they don't they have normal feeling, and especially in relation to the Darfur issue, we're not so happy with that because normalization, the relationship, and takes the Sudan as the president of Sudan off the list. This is not helping our the conflict in Darfur actually. And actually what they're trying to do that is to have a Christian state in South Sudan. Actually they are splitting the country to two parts. And to normalize the relationship with Sudan, that means the ICC arrest warrant against Omar Bashir is not taking place. So we are lost in the middle, and it's like the issue of Darfur is lost in the middle. So it's good and bad, of course.
Okay, Obama. Well, what I can say, when you ask that question, I immediately think of what the people in Venezuela and what the president, Chavez, has been saying, or the government at the moment, has been saying about the United States as you are all the United States. Like there's just the one United States that is Bush, the imperialistic power dominating and creating suffering in the world. And that's what it was being said, even at the level of people who I thought, how come you are relating to a country and to a government as if all the people are that government and that ideology? And that, in each debate, and it was almost every day on the table, it was every day on the TV, prior to Obama, this discussion about imperialism, creating forces, coalitions that were opposing to that, and resisting. And this has been very much the focus, one of the major focus of Chavez policy and government. And of course, there's been wonderful things definitely that have come from creating solidarity in the Caribbean between other countries and between even the countries that speak English, because we're next to Guyana and we're not relating as countries that all have the same interests. And then we have in South America this fire that started again somehow is all been by a democratic election, which is remarkable, of alternative leaders. For the first time you had, well, Chavez in Venezuela certainly has been not only a problem because of the way his politics and the way he speaks, but also the way who he is. He is a man who's mixed-raced, a very strong indigenous background, and comes not from the elite and the educated line of presidents that we have had, but he comes from the land, when I mean the land is, yeah, the land. You know, he's someone who went to military and got all his education through that. I was there when the first riots happened that Chavez, we had a coup d'etat. And I remember him, somehow they were able to come on TV, I don't know how they did it, and they said, for now, we can't change anything. He was in jail for 10 years or more, and people were working on almost, let's say underground, how would you call this again? Clandestine. Nobody said they were going and having meetings, and people were organizing everywhere to support this movement. And it became a famous phrase, for now. So Chavez happened. Huge transformation, huge shift. But we're still looking at it, what is it, what's going on? It's still unraveling. We have very complex situations at this point in time, 2009, in the world, period. It's very complex, it's not black and white anymore. So then we have a woman in Chile elected president. Wow. In South America, you know, sexist by tradition. It's not Evita Perón, you know, coming from a dictator saying this. It's a woman elected by the people. We have another woman elected in Argentina. Wow. And she's absolutely glamorous too. Have you seen her? It's just like, and the way she talks, what she's doing with the people. And then we have an indigenous person in Ecuador, completely there. So we have this fire that's taking over. And then we have a Jesuit elected in Uruguay, Paraguay. Did you know about this? And we were talking about it last night. A Jesuit president elected. He's been working with the people, the social justice sector. People elected him. So I am asking myself, I haven't been to Venezuela. I'm going to be there now for about it's going to be next year. I'm going to be there for quite a while. I'm really curious how the discourse is shifting. Now we cannot talk about the United States as the United States as a thing, like a massive monster or whatever. You know, I wonder how that is changing in the public discourse. How are we creating solidarity, recognizing there's actually all these people here too who are not necessarily adjoining to the powers that have been dominating for all this time. So I am really, really, really curious because it's a challenge for us. Oh, how are we going to see the enemy now? How are we going to see the enemy? And I think that's a really wonderful question that is on the table for all of us. How do we create solidarity across borders?